you hear my prayers, because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through, we know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you. But I just want to fall on you, to show the devils you ain't nothing to play with. I raise material to say the same shit.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Look, I keep it loyal to the team. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way. Go ahead. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go ahead. This shit is too easy. I'm on gold, but they don't believe me. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, 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 VG. Leave them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. Mama grind, bitch, I'm working. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. You niggas weak, they be churching. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If he cross the line, I'ma back up and I'ma hit his ass with his virus. And I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas we eat. I'm in this bitch with the itis. Say all y'all do the street. Tell y'all let's do the street. If a nigga made the wrong move, he make his ass obsolete. He ain't one of us hit the lead. He ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go ahead. I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat.
You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my cleats, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my target's on the move, bitch, I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Gullah Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we pace. We form up in ranks. We body bag this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit.
I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go ahead.
Test. Salakia. Just checking to make sure that this live is to live, of course. Kind, everything's good. All right, let's get to it. Shalom. Yahweh Shemi Shah Barakathah. Barakathum. Salakim to all the brothers. Yahweh Shemar Alathun. Bahashim Shah to all the sisters. It's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commanding General Yohana. Right? Been in operation since 1969. Right? Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth according to the Bible. That so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true Jews according to the Bible. And, you know what I'm saying, that the oppressor, the colonizer, you know what I'm saying, is the devil the Bible speaks of, right? And so, here we are yet again, another Tuesday. Tuesday, of course, this is the Brotherhood class, right? The Brotherhood class that will be taught by my brother, Officer 500 Yaramak, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm just holding it down for him. Officer 500 Thabawan, just holding it down until Officer Yaramak arrives. Okay. Bring out some, you know what I'm saying, to break down, you know what I'm saying, just what we need to hear as blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians in this time, man. World War III is upon us. You understand? You can flip it, you know what I mean, slice it up, dice it up any way you want. I know that you're just going on with your life and you just thinking to yourself, oh, it's just another little conflict. It'll get resolved. They'll make another treaty or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And shoot, you know what I mean? That might happen in the immediate. You might see that. You might see some kind of treaty or ceasefire type thing take place. But you think that means that World War III is over? Hell no. Hell no. This thing right here is going to go down. You know what I'm saying? It's going to go down. There's no turning back from it. Your life, you better enjoy not having to wear that mask. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy that for now, because pretty soon you're going to have to wear a different kind of mask, a gas mask. You know what I'm saying? Or some kind of hazmat suit. You know what I mean? When the damn nuclear warfare begins, as it will. You understand? If I'm not mistaken, I believe, you know what I'm saying, Putin just did something related to nuclear weapons, man. I think he told, you know what I'm saying, he told his people to be on alert or something like that. You know what I mean? And it's going, listen, this is affecting things. All they talking about is Russia and Ukraine, but understand that this is affecting things all over the earth, man. All throughout Europe, all throughout Asia, all throughout in Africa, the Middle East, and in America. You understand? All of these things are related. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna see, man, in the times coming up, man, the rough patch is ahead. That's why it's so important for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to get into this truth. If you black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, you know what I mean, there's no nice way to say it. The safest place for you to be is in the ISUPK under Commanding General Yana. Period. Period. Point blank. You know what I mean? You're not safe in the you're certainly not safe in the Christian church. I mean, good night. You are definitely not safe in the Christian church, because in the Christian church they're telling you to pray for Ukraine. They're telling you to pray for Ukraine in the Christian church, and Ukraine they never gave a, you know what I'm saying? What used to say back in the day, a plug nickel. They never gave a damn about you. Ever. Never ever has that happened. You know what I'm saying? I always, like I say, man, I've been around a lot of Eastern Europeans, some of the most racist people you've ever seen in your life. I went to high school with them, lived in the same building as them. Some of the most bigoted, racist people, period. But now you want to side with them. And they didn't side with you when George Floyd got choked out. They didn't side with you, you know what I'm saying, when Sandra Bland was murdered. They didn't say, you know, they didn't stick up for Tamir Rice when he got gunned down in a park where a 12-year-old is supposed to be. In a park. You understand? They didn't stick up for you. So why, oh why, black people, are we at it again? Why are we at it again? Why do we always have to give our love, you know what I'm saying, to everyone else? Why do we always have to do that? You understand? We always got to give our love to the oppressor or some other race of people. We can never just love each other, love ourselves, man. Salakia. Let me go back to some of my favorite scriptures before obviously our mock gets here, right? All right. And all these fake leaders, man, because that's what your Muslim imam, he's gonna do the same thing. He ain't gonna have no solution for you. Or you know what I mean, your fake Muslim leaders, they're not gonna have no solutions for you to tell you what to do in these times. What are they gonna tell you to do? What, go bang your head up against a rock in the Middle East, where of course the worst of the worst is about to take place? What are they gonna tell you to do? Love the Arab man. Notice the difference between, listen, the Isupk, this is not a religion. You understand? This is not a religion. This is a school for Israelites. That is a race of people, a nation of people. Muslims just tell you to love Middle East, you know what I'm saying, so-called Arabs. That's what they pretty much teach you to do. To take their culture and love them. Meanwhile, they hate you. Christianity tells you to take the oppressor's culture, the colonizer's culture, and love him. You understand? Salakia. Salakia. Yeah, Christianity tells you to love the oppressor. Take after his ways and try to join him, but he hates you. All these religions, that's what they pretty much do. They tell you to join the oppressor. Join, you know what I'm saying, some group of people that absolutely hate your black, Hispanic, and Native Indian guts. And the ISUPK, we don't do that. You see us rocking, you know what I'm saying? I don't got my joint right now because my chain broke, but you see us rocking the shield of David, right? We don't look like, talk like, dress like, or act like the so-called Jewish man. Every time they see us with the shield, they try to, you know what I'm saying, act like they down with us. Oh, you Jewish? Do we say, yeah, we're just like you? No, we say, no. I'm not Jewish. I'm a Jew. I'm from the tribe of Judah. I'm an Israelite. We don't try to join with them, and they look at us like, oh, right? Because they know what time it is. But let a Muslim run into some Arab, and he'd be like, oh, you Muslim? And he'll be like, yes. Me and you are the same. We both Muslim, yeah. Allahu Akbar and all that stuff. They'll say, they'll say the same thing. They'll try to join with them, be together with them. That's not what we do, because we're not joining oppressors. We're the real Jews according to the Bible. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Period. That's the difference. So why would you join with any of them? What you gonna do? Join Esau's military now? The Navy? The Air? Yeah, this is a prime time for you to join the Air Force right now. Come on, black man, don't be stupid. Hispanic man, Native Indian man, and woman. Don't be silly. You understand? Let's read this real quick. Let's go to the book of Exodus chapter 15 and verse 3. Let's go to Exodus chapter 15 and verse 3 real fast. You want to be kissing everybody on the mouth all the time, right? Every time something happens, here come black people. Pray for Paris. Pray for this. Pray for Ukraine. Love on Ukraine. Kiss on these people. Pray for, but when that damn bombing happened, but pray for Boston. Pray for everybody but your damn self. You know what I mean? You hate your people. And it's disgusting. And if you want to change your life, you know what I'm saying, and actually learn how to love your people, because that's what's going to save you in the end. As the scriptures say, I'm paraphrasing, right? What Christ said, you know what I'm saying, if a man seeks to save his life, he shall lose it. You're going to worry about yourself so much in your American patriotic individualism, you're going to die. You're going to die right along with your other American individuals when this place is a lake of fire. When the nuclear, what do you call it, fallout is so immense that this land is uninhabitable. You understand? You're going to be over here with your eyeballs melting out of your head just like everybody else. If you don't want that, then it is imperative. It is essential. It is necessary. You understand? For all blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians to join the Isupk. So let's read the scripture real fast. This is the book of Exodus chapter 15 and verse 3. The Lord is a man of war. In the Hebrew, you know what I'm saying, if you really break it down, what it says Yahweh is a man of war. That's the Lord's name, right? The Lord is a man of war. It does not say that the Lord, so this idea that the Lord is all about hugs and kisses, rainbows and skittles and unicorns, is against the Bible. You understand? It's against the Bible. And when you go and say, pray for Ukraine and God save Ukraine and peace, 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 you know what I'm saying? Peace, my brother, peace, all of that, right? The Lord is not all about peace. That's in the Bible. Read it again, Exodus 15 and 3. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is not a man of peace. That scripture is not in there. God is not a man of peace. He's a man of war. Everything he deals with is war. And everything you deal with in life is war. So how the hell are you going to sit up here talking about peace, 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 peace? That's why black people, Hispanics, and Native Indians are in the condition continuously that we tend to be in, because we want the easy route. That's why the scriptures describe us as sheep, the Lord's flock. You know what I'm saying? Because sheep, you know what I mean? Sheep don't want to be too uncomfortable. They just want to graze, eat their grass, you know what I'm saying, strut along. They not really trying to, you know what I'm saying, do too much. And that's the problem. That's what blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians are. Like, we so worried about comfort and everything that we end up getting the short end of the stick every single time. You know why Ukraine ain't worried about Trayvon Martin and Sandra Bland and Eric Garner and Tamir Rice? Because they have their own country and they're worried about what's going on in their country. They're worried about whether or not they're going to join NATO and how they can get into NATO or the European Union, or if they'll be forced to join up with Putin again. That's what Ukraine is worried about. Those are the problems of a free man. Russia's not worried about Trayvon Martin and Sandra Bland because they're worried about their enemies moving too close to their borders. Your enemies are already inside of your borders, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. So you, of all people, have no business worried the hell about what's going on in Ukraine. Let me tell you something real quick before we go to the next scripture. This is such a let me get that scripture. Real quick. Salakia. I want to go to Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 14. Because what we're seeing with our people and all of this nonsense, it's such a slave thing, man. It's such the mark of a slave. You know what I'm saying? It's like when Malcolm X, you know what I'm saying? Again, he wasn't in the truth, but he said something to this effect. I'm paraphrasing. I know they said it in a movie, but I believe he did say something similar to this or brought up this point. You know what I'm saying? About, you know what I'm saying, the slave in his speech when the master got sick, you know what I'm saying? He would say, "What's the matter, boss? We sick?" And things like that. You know what I mean? And that's true because that's how we think. Like, really think about it, black man. I ain't talking about no conspiracy. I'm talking about the psychology of blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians in America. In this westernized world, think of the mentality of us. Why is a black man or woman, Hispanic man or woman, Native Indian man or woman on social media talking about pray for Ukraine? Think about that. Why? We're going to read the scripture. I'm going to tell you why. But think about it. Why would they do that? Let's read. The book of Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Spoiled means destroyed. Why is he destroyed? Is he a homeborn slave? Is he a servant? The reason why blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are in America talking about pray for Ukraine is because they think they are America. They think that they are American, like they're the same, like it's one thing. Just like that slave that says to the boss, "What's the matter, boss? We sick?" It's because in his mind, there is no him. There's the master, and his existence is only a real thing in relation to the master's existence. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes him alive in the slave's mind. So no, he can't talk about himself or the master as separate. No, him and the master are one and the same. So if the master's sick, I guess I'm sick. You know what I'm saying? If the master's having an issue, I guess I'm having an issue. Because I'm a slave. I'm an extension of him. And that's what we have become. Jeremiah 2 and 14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? We become homeborn slaves, man. It's so bred into us, we don't even think about it. That is the mark of a slave. We was at camp the other day in Uptown Charlotte, trading Tryon, holding camp, blazing as usual, and the damn March of Dimes, not really a March of Dimes, but a march for Save Free Ukraine comes crawling up the damn street, accompanied by the police, of course. Police are blocking off the street. I mean, literally, it had to be at least 500 people that walked past us, taking up the entire width of the street. And mind you, this is one of the busiest corners in Charlotte, if I'm not mistaken. And in that crowd, of course, you see plenty of white people. And you see blacks and Hispanics in there. And if you're not paying attention, that'll just be normal. That'll just make sense. But that does not make sense. It does not make sense for a black, Hispanic, Native Indian man or woman to be marching up and down any street in America worried about Ukraine. How you going to worry about Ukraine? Meanwhile, you stuck in America with a slave owner's name. You know what I'm saying, on your driver's license. You worried about Ukraine. Them Ukrainians still got their names. They still Barmanovich and Roshnikov and Karanov and Abramanov and Moshkovitz, all of that. They still got their names. They still got their land. They got a land that they can fight for. They got that. And furthermore, that's white on white crime. Because guess what? The people coming over there, them Russians, are also named Abramovich and Ashkenov. You know what I'm saying? And Karenov and all that. That's their problem. Why are you concerning yourself with it? And in America get involved in itself with sanctions, that's still none of your business, black man. That is none of your business. You got to stop being a homeborn slave. You got to have some pride, some gumption, some testicular fortitude. Where's the grapefruits? Pause. This is like you like a baby. We are like babies. Black Hispanics, Native Indians, we are like babies on this earth, man. Just a little baby, just mommy and daddy and uncles and aunts just arguing. We just sitting there 2 feet tall, just looking up at them like, stop, please. Stop fighting. Grow the hell up. The Lord is a man of war. That's what it says in Exodus 15:3. Then it goes on to say Yahweh is his name. That's his reputation. That's what he is. He's a man of war. He loves it. Bloodshed, fights, debates, disagreements, battles. That's what the Lord is all about. Why do you think he got Satan in his employ? Because he want to see if you like him. He called King David a man after his own heart not because King David was soft. King David wasn't a man after the Lord's own heart because he played an instrument. That's not why he was a man after the Lord's heart. He was a man after the Lord's heart because King David was a warrior who loved to fight like most Judites, just loved it. And David was a Judite. And he just loved to fight all the time. Just give me an excuse, just a reason, please. Such a Judite thing. A Judite is always like, please let this happen. Please let somebody step on my sneaker. Please. You almost want it. Like, please let somebody step on my shoe. Bump me too hard. I'm going to drink the Henny just in case. So when they bump me hard, I know that they did it on purpose. Such a Judite mindset. That was King David. And the Lord said he was a man after his own heart because King David was a warrior, a fighter, loved to go to battle. You know what I'm saying? But you want to hugs and kisses. Pray for Ukraine. Why? So the Ukrainians can be all nice and everything can end well. And then the Ukrainians and Russians and Americans can hate your black ass together. Excuse my language. Can hate your black Mexican spick nigga wetback self all together. That's what you want? Come on, man. Salakia. Bear with me. Where am I? I want to go to the next scripture. Let's go to Psalm 109 and verse 4. Psalm 109 and verse 4. No, not that one. Not that one. Salaki, bear with me. Let's go to Psalm 59, I believe. I know I want to go to Psalms. Here we go. This is the book of Psalm chapter 59. While you sitting up here worried about people that hate your guts, that loathe you and call you all sorts of things in other languages that you don't even know. You understand? While you praying for them, King David, who had again was a man after the Lord's heart, he didn't want to get nice with everybody. He didn't want to be friends with everybody and love and hug everybody. David wasn't a kiss in the mouth type dude. That wasn't him. He wasn't. I know you watch the movies and you think that King David was about a 5'8", slim in the body, big head Caucasian with blonde hair who was really good with a little slingshot. That ain't what King David was. All right. King David was not that. King David, again, was a fighter, a warrior. Okay. And after he didn't just, it wasn't like a cartoon. He didn't just bonk that big African on the head with a rock, like boop, and the African just fell out. No. He lodged with, don't think it's some little baby slingshot. Remember, Goliath's head was like this big. You understand? And we're talking about a sizable rock, not a sizable rock. And he put it in a sturdy slingshot. Don't think Dennis the Menace. You know what I'm saying? Think about something you might use in the Olympics. And slung it like a shot put into that big African's dome. Slung it like a shot put into that big African's knot and threw it so hard it got lodged in the middle of his skull. Afterwards, they always talk about the slingshot, but they never tell you that afterwards he cut Goliath's head off with a sword. You understand? So let's see what King David said about loving everybody. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 59, and verse 1. Deliver me from mine enemies, O my power. Defend me from them that rise up against me. King David wasn't trying to make nice. He didn't say, please let them be at peace with me. Please, Lord, put the spirit of love on their hearts so that they may turn from their anger and we can all just get along. That's not what King David said. He said, deliver me from mine enemies, O my power. Defend me from them that rise up against me. Verse 2, deliver me from the workers of iniquity and save me from bloody men. I'm going to keep going. Verse 3, for lo, they lie in wait for my soul. The mighty are gathered against me, not for my transgression, not for my sin, O Lord. Verse 4, they run and prepare themselves without my fault, awake to help me, and behold. Again, he's saying that they're trying to get me, and I haven't even done anything wrong. But listen to this part right here. All you lovey-doveys out there. It says, thou, therefore, O Lord God of hosts, the power of Israel, not everybody on earth, not we're all God's children. He said the power or God of Israel, awake to visit all the heathen. You know what a heathen is? A heathen is a non-Israelite. Anybody that is not an Israelite, meaning that their father, right, is a descendant by paternal lineage of the 12 tribes of Israel, right? That means they go back to Jacob. If they are not an Israelite, they are a heathen. And King David, while you want to love on Ukraine, King David said, Thou therefore, O Lord God of hosts, the God of Israel, awake to visit all the heathen. What does it mean to visit them? He's not asking the Lord to go check up on them. He's not asking the Lord to go see how they doing. Go give them a visit. No, it ain't. Don't think of that kind of visit. Think of the kind of visit where a mob boss tells one of his soldiers, one of the capos, you know what I'm saying, tells one of his soldiers, yeah, go pay such and such a visit. I need you to go pay such and such a visit. And that soldier knows exactly what he means. Go pay him a visit. Okay, that kind of visit. Not go check up on him. King David's not asking for that. Think about the context. He just said that all of these people are his enemies and he wants to be saved from them. So he says to the Lord, awake to visit all the heathen. Tell him the Lord, get up. He says, awake. He's saying, Most High, Salaki, sir, get up. Get up and visit them heathens, man. Let's read on. Be not merciful to any wicked transgressors. Don't be merciful to them, because the heathen are wicked. The heathen are wicked. The heathen are child molesters. The heathen are murderers. The heathen are rapists. The heathen eat unlawful foods. The heathen teach blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians that all they are is niggas, wetbacks, and spicks, and that all they are also is the last hired and the first fired, and that they're the scum of the earth. They teach blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians that they're not the real Jews according to the Bible, when in fact they are. They teach blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians that, they're you're Africans. Yeah, Africans. You black people, yeah, you really Africans. You really Africans. Oh, you Latinos from Puerto Rico, Mexico. No, really, your motherland is Spain. Yeah, that's where you go back to Spain. So you're Europeans. Oh, you Native Indians? Yeah, you're Asians. You're Asians that went over the Bering Straits. Thousands of years ago. Yep, that's what you are. You guys are not related at all. You're African, you're European, and you're Asian. So this other scripture where King David said that they, you know what I'm saying? I'm paraphrasing. They compassed about me with words of hatred. They spoke lies. King David said that too. You understand? Salakia. Where am I at? Be not merciful to any wicked transgressors. Salah. All right, we're going to drop that one. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 20 and verse 4. Perfect. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20 and verse 4. For the Lord your God is he that goeth with you. Everybody in the Christian church talks about they with God, right? They with the Most High. They love the Most High and all of these things, right? But what do they want the Lord to be with them for? What do you want? What do they want the Lord to be with them for? Just, you know what I'm saying? Just for giggles, for fun. What's it all about? You understand? Why do they want the Lord to be with them? Well, again, they don't know what the hell they're talking about, and they don't understand the Bible. That's first and foremost. That's first and foremost that they do not understand the Bible at all. Okay? But now we're about to read why King David wanted the Lord with him. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna better yet read the Lord explaining to you what's the purpose of saying the Lord is with you. Because in the Isupk, we say that proudly. The Lord is with us. And now you're about to see the precept to show you when we say that what we mean. Let's get it. Salakia. Deuteronomy chapter 20 and verse 4. For the Lord your God is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies. Good night. For the Lord your God, which is also your power, the word God means power, right? For the Lord your power is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies. It doesn't say he goes with you so maybe you can hug somebody. He doesn't say he goes with you so, you can peacefully, come to an agreement and everyone can shake hands. You know what I'm saying? And everyone can all get along like Rodney King said. It don't say that. That is literally not in any way ever in the Bible why the Lord is with you. Whenever the Lord is with somebody, whether it be a person or Israel at large, because he's only ever with Israel. You know what I'm saying? Or actually, well, let me make sure I be careful with that. His purpose, the Lord he only cares about Israel. But when we transgress against him, he will be with someone else. Not that he's their power or their God, like he's looking out for them and loving them. But what he will do is he'll turn his back on us. And if he turns his back on us and he's not with us, we lose. You know what I'm saying? And that way you can say, so I don't want to say he's with someone else. You know what I mean? It's not quite like that. It just means he ain't with us. And when he ain't with us, we ain't got no power. That's what God means. We don't have a God. We don't have a power to do this. For the Lord your power is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies, to save you. You understand? That's the whole point of having the Lord with you. When the Isupk, when we say the Lord is with us, it's because we're going to battle. We're not saying the Lord is with us just because it sounds nice. The Isupk is all about warfare. Do you listen to the music? Have you know what I'm saying? Salakia. Bear with me just a second. Shalaki, and with that, I pass the class over to Priest and Officer Yarmak.
Shalom, shalom. It's like, oh, man. Oh, God, it's like, yeah. That's on me. All right, where was we at? But Salaki, the water, this brother, man, give always a Thabawan a hand, man, for holding it down for me. Salaki for being late. Most high and crazy. All right, let's go there again. What lives do we got up? Gotcha. All right, we can go ahead and let me get this one up real quick. All right, we go ahead. What we got?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20 and verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
For the Lord your power is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies.
For the Lord your power is he that goeth with you to fight. You understand? To fight for you against your enemies.
Come.
Now, what is this saying here?
Shalakia, I was using it, you know what I'm saying, because to show that everybody running around talking about, black people running around talking about save Ukraine, when Ukraine don't give a damn about us. All of these nations, all of these heathens, I read in the scripture before, are our enemies. And so if you asking the Lord to be with you, there's only one reason to have to want the Lord to be with you. And that's to help you win battles.
Right.
That's literally the only reason. So right now, that's what the Lord is telling you. He's letting you know what his relationship is with us. It's like, I'm the one that is with you so that you can win against your enemies.
Right. You understand? The Lord is the one, the Lord is the power that is going to fight for blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians.
That's
now,
right.
With that being said, here's what you gotta answer your question yourself. Because of course, a lot of us has a perception of oppression.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us have a perception of blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians being enslaved in America. However, a lot of us do not know how we are supposed to get out of this oppression.
Right.
Which is why the Isupk and the Commander General Yohana is very vital to the lives of blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Because in this school, we don't give you theories.
That's right.
We don't philosophize on what we should do or what God is or what we should worship, whether we worship a deity or we walk around a rock 7 times.
Right.
And here we give you hardcore solutions and facts that'll save your life. We give you the answer to the question, which is how do we change the condition of blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians? You understand? And so I'm going to read it one more time. This is Deuteronomy chapter 20 and verse 4. For the Lord your God is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies. And now with that being understood, what is the main thing that we have to understand here? What is the main thing that multiple organizations and multiple just different religious groups and different people always try to give always try to give in this fight against the perception of oppression? What is it that they always try to give that it never works? For time's sake, I'll give it to you. They always try to give some sorrowful solution to the salvation of blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians.
Right.
When the solution is right here in the
That's
Bible.
right.
You understand? The solution is very simple. It's right in front of you. You understand? The Lord is the man who will fight against your enemies. So now, if the Lord is the man who will fight against your enemies, why are you marching in the street at the NFAC?
That's right.
Why are you collecting guns and making an armory as if you're going to single-handedly go and take out all oppressors? You understand? Why are you worshiping a rock and walking around a rock, the cobblestone 7 times during the Ramadan, whatever they call it? You understand? Thinking that is what's going to save your people. When the Lord is the man that is going to fight against your enemies, man. And so now, if the Lord is the man that's going to fight against your enemies, what does that now mean?
What does that now mean that blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians have to do? Does that mean we have to worship a rock? Does it mean that we're supposed to celebrate Christmas? Does it mean we're supposed to put a cross on our neck and go into church every Sunday and sing and dance? Or does it mean that we actually have to follow the man who's going to save us? Does it mean we actually have to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments because this is the man that is going to fight for us, man? Again, this is chapter 20, verse 4. For the Lord your God, for the Lord your power is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies to save you. You understand? Brother. I know you did not just get shots of wine. No sweat. Hey, take that off camera, Salaki. Good night. You understand? Let's go back over this one more time. You understand? If I could, Bob Gashad, give me Deuteronomy 20 and verse 4. Hold off for a second on that, though.
Hold off on Deuteronomy?
No, hold on from there.
God, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20 and verse 4.
Uh-huh.
For the Lord your power is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies.
Against your enemy. Go back up to verse 3.
God, verse 3. And shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel.
Hear, O Israel, man. This is what the priest is going to say. Everybody's worried about Ukraine and Russia and China getting involved and America getting involved and it creating World War III. And of course, everybody is terrified that what's happening in Ukraine is going to happen here in America. When we, no, I'm too wild. We good to go. You understand? When we, as blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, we should never be terrified of an invasion from another country.
That's right.
What the hell are we to be terrified for? What are we scared of? Somebody explain to me, what is the fear of another nation of people coming into your neighborhood and shooting you in the street? What is the fear? What is the thing that you're so scared? What are you scared that a Russian soldier is going to pull you over and ask for a card and shoot you because you don't have the right identification? Are you scared that you're going to be speeding too fast, that a Russian soldier is going to pull you over for speeding and shoot you dead in your streets? Or are you scared that you're going to run away unarmed from whatever country invasion and that they shoot you in the back? What are you scared of?
Right.
When we've been dying from this invasion of America since we've been here.
That's right.
We've been being invaded since we've been here. What do you think the Native American Indians had to go through? We're so worried about Ukraine that we forget that America invaded, you understand, Russia. I read a comment today by some scholar, some Edomite scholar, who read that when Christopher Columbus came over here, he quoted, right? I ain't gonna say he quoted, I'm paraphrasing what he quoted. He said that these people are the nicest people, that they are the friendliest people on the earth.
Right.
That they take everything that they have and they give it preferably than to keep it for themselves. He said that this is the kindest people that he ever met. And right after he said that this people will make great servants.
That's right.
Because we can take them and make them to do anything.
Damn right.
That's what Christopher Columbus said. And why the hell are we worried about Putin and what he's doing to the Ukrainians?
Right.
Why the hell are we so concerned about what the Ukrainians have going on when our people are dying today and they've been dying for 400 years in America? It's stupid. What, you scared of a bomb? You think that America hasn't put bombs on black cities before? You think that America doesn't put weaponry to use in our neighborhoods? You think that this is the first thing for us if America gets invaded?
Right.
You understand? We've been dying for 400 years, man, and black people should have nothing to fear. We've been living in a cesspool of chaos and violence. We've been living in a cesspool of wickedness, man, and unrightful killings against our people by another nation, man, which is an act of war in itself. We've been living in it. I don't see what the hell we scared of. You understand? I guess because they speak a different language, it's different. It makes it different because they don't speak English. You understand? You got to be a fool. But of course, Commander General Yohana's prophets go out in the street every day.
That's right.
And they tell blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians to not be worried about this World War III.
Damn right.
Don't be
That's
scared
right.
of no goddamn invasion, man. You understand? To hell with that. Keep going.
Come
Or read it again for verse 3.
Come. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20, and verse 3. And shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto battle against your enemies.
You approach this day unto battle against your enemies, man. We've been in spiritual warfare against our oppressor for 400 years. And now we approaching the day of them trials. We coming into them. We in those last days. And now is the time to see who you are going to stand for. Are you going to stand with the Lord, or are you going to stand with celebrating Christmas? You're going to stand with the Lord, or you going to go sign up for the military and stand with the Army, or the Navy, or the Air Force, or the Marines? Who are you going to stand for? Or are you going to stand for Ukraine? You going to stand for Ukraine, or who gets invaded next? Ghana? You going to stand for them Africans next?
Right.
Or you going to stand for France and Paris? You don't stand for Australia when the Lord is telling you to stand for your people, man. You understand? We don't got time. Let me ask you a question. Ukraine is being invaded by Russia right now, right? Now, there's many atrocities that's happening. There's bombs being put on innocent families, babies who are just born or dying. I seen the other day on a video, I seen some old man get just brutally ran over by a tank in his car. Yeah. On some Grand Theft Auto, man. Just ran him over. That's terrible. I don't think he died, but if he did, he lived. But that would be a terrible way to die. That's not a nice, joyous thing to see. A man getting crushed by a tank when he's probably just going to go see his grandbabies. He's probably just going to his daughter to try to comfort his daughter, or maybe he's going to build a Molotov bomb. I don't know. But either way, the things that's happening to them is so terrible, man. That's a terrible thing that's happening to them, for them to just die innocently, man, because of another nation wanting to take control over what they have. Now, let me ask you a question. As Ukraine is being killed unjustly, or as they would call unjustly, or as they're being murdered in the streets, or having to live in the lifestyle that they're having to live today, with their life being in the way that it is now, does Ukraine have time to fight for Black lives? What you mean? Oh, hold on now. No, because you can't say that. You can't say that. You can't say Ukraine doesn't have time to fight for the rights of Black people. Black lives matter, don't it? Shouldn't they give their support to Black people? I mean, we understand. We understand that what's happening in Ukraine right now is so terrible, man. And really, I feel for you. I have empathy for you, man. I would understand if my babies had to hide every day because bombs was being dropped on my neighborhood. I would understand how you feel. But you're telling me that Ukrainians can't send money over to Black people because they're being killed in the street? You're telling me Ukrainians can't get online right now and post, pray for Black people in America, as Black people are posting, pray for Ukraine? You telling me it can't happen? They don't got the time. They got all the time in the world out. You understand? The problem is that they don't have love for Black people. Ukraine does not love for Black people. They don't give a damn about Black people. When was the last time you seen Ukraine protest because of what America was doing to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians? When's the last time you seen it? When the last time you seen the French protest because of what America was doing to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians? When's the last time you seen it? You haven't. It doesn't happen. They don't go into them UN meetings and plead for the lives of your friends. They don't plead for the lives of your brothers that's getting shot in their backs. They don't plead for the lives of Trayvon Martin or Eric Garner or Fidel Castile. They don't have the time because they're too concerned with their babies' lives. They're too concerned with their wives and their brothers and their nieces and their nephews and their friends and families that's dying in Ukraine. And even when they're not being invaded by Russia, they are still too concerned with the poor of their people,
They're still too concerned with the education of their people, with the transportation of their people, with the lives of their people, because by taking their concern away from them would mean that they would ignore their people that's suffering and dying every day. But what the hell do black people think we're doing when we give our love to Ukraine? What do you think you do when you waste your time to send money to Ukraine, to send your love and your prayers to a nation that has never loved you, that has never dropped an ounce of a resource to save your life? You understand? This is what we've been beaten down to, man. This stupidity. We are like a dirty whore. That's what black people have become. We're like a dirty whore who sleeps with every man, just trying to find someone who will keep us. Just trying. Oh, we give this man everything. But he don't want me, so let me find somebody else. And he said, no, he beat that woman, beat her and tell her that she ain't nothing, and smack her across the face and call her a bitch and kick her out the house. And here she come right back, banging on the door. Please just let me in. When will black people wake the hell up, man? And stop being a whore to these nations. Stop being somebody who feels as if we have to give our love to every goddamn thing so that we can be accepted. And then maybe we'll just love one another. Maybe then we'll have the same common sense that Ukraine has. That maybe we should just give our resources to Ukraine. You understand? Or maybe we should give our resources to our ghettos and our neighborhoods in America. You understand? And to the poverty and impoverished of our people, to the ill-educated of our people. And maybe we should deal with that first. You understand? Then maybe our condition will start to change, man. Right. If we just started to learn that we have to love one another for us to change, man. You understand? And now, we telling blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians to not be worried about no invasion. Don't be worried about no World War III. We've been living in turmoil our whole lives. Our whole life has been nothing but our friends dying, getting arrested, and that's life. Is if you make it from not dying or getting arrested, then that is a glorious thing, because our life is about terrorism, man. Being terrorized in the streets of America. And now our oppressor is being terrorized, man. Now our oppressor is going to have to face warfare on his doorstep. Now he's going to have to feel the pain that he's been causing blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians for 400 years. And we should not empathize with him. We should not have sorrow for him. We should tell him to do what he told us. And what did our oppressor tell us to do? He said to lace up your boots and get to work. Did he not? Did he not? Did our oppressor not tell us when we were fighting for jobs, when we was hungry in the streets, did he not say that we should lace up our bootstraps and we should go to work? Well, when American babies start to die, you know what they should do? They better lace them bootstraps right up, and they should go to work. They better put use to them sound wave guns that they got and them nuclear bombs that they got. They better push them buttons, you understand, so that they can protect their children. But Shalak, Adawan, you want to take the class? All right, come on. You understand? They better do whatever they got to do to protect their children. But blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, you better stop thinking that loving these other nations is what's going to save you. You better stop thinking that by giving your resources and your love to other nations is going to be the thing that protects you. Because I promise you that they won't save you, man. You understand? Keep going. Come. Ye approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint. Fear not. And do not tremble.
Fear not and do not tremble. Keep going.
Neither be ye terrified because of them.
And neither be ye terrified because of them, man. You shouldn't be worried. You understand? This is just another day. What they say in the song, just another day on the block. This ain't nothing new. You understand? Getting shot, it ain't nothing for black people. We've been getting shot for 400 years. It ain't nothing. You understand? Running away from authorities, it ain't nothing new. It's just the life that we live. Now, this is new for Billy. I tell you that. For Billy should be terrified. Enslavement, concentration camps,
right?
Cages, prison bars. Oh yeah, Billy should be terrified.
He should be sorrowful and tremble because this is something that is new to him.
That's right.
But for us, we've been living in cages to this day. For us, we've been stuck on borders, put on in concentration camps to this day. So this ain't nothing for us. Keep going.
Gonna come. Neither be ye terrified because of them. Verse 4. For the Lord your God is he that goeth with you.
For the Lord your God is he that goeth with you, man. We got a power that will fight for us.
That's right.
And that power isn't a nuclear bomb. You understand? That power is a man who's going to send Christ back with 200 million angels, man, to fight alongside us, man.
That's right.
To kill our oppressor for the slaughter that he's done to our people, man. Keep going.
God. Shlakia. For the Lord your God is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies.
Against your enemies. To do what?
To save you.
To save you, man. Because black people need to be saved from something, man. Right. We have to be saved from something, man. You understand? Now, with that being said, well, what the Lord just told us, you understand? What Moses is teaching the Israelites right now, you understand? Means what? What does this mean in its entirety? What does this mean? If I tell you right now, oh, you got it? Go ahead. Take a shot. Which means what? We can't depend on nobody else. But who can we depend on? Think back more in the precept. Who can we depend on? Who are we depend? What did it just say? We depend on the Lord, which means what? All right, follow me, right? We can't depend on anybody else, which means that we don't depend on the NFAC. We don't go and pick up guns and go in the woods and train on weaponry, thinking that is what's going to save us. Now, there's nothing wrong with learning skills. There's nothing wrong with learning how to dig a trench or learning how to disarm a weapon and put it back together or learning how to start a fire. Ain't nothing wrong with doing that. But thinking that is what's going to save you, it's not. You could take 100,000 black people, go into the wilderness right now and train for 3 years and turn them into super nigga soldiers. And they could be a marvel into the world. And then a nuclear bomb will land dead spot in the middle of all of them and die. They'll die. Simple as that. Why? Because the Lord was not with it. You understand? So it's nothing wrong with learning these skills, but our dependence is on who? The Most High, which means that we have to do what? You got to do what the Lord says to do. That's what black people have to do. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
What you're saying is so heavy because the NFAC and the NOI and the FOI and all the, you know what I'm saying, fake groups and all of that, what they don't understand is that if they don't have the Most High is not with them, none of that stuff will work. Mm-hmm. So like you saying, it's a good thing to know how to use a weapon, to know how to have skills and all those things, have tactics. Why? Mm-hmm. So that way, when you know what I mean, when you in them situations, the Lord will be with you and all that stuff that you know will actually work. Mm-hmm. But if you in the NFAC, you're going to know everything about a assault rifle up and down, and when the going gets tough, it's going to jam. And you're going to get a hot one, you know what I'm saying, in your face.
Your back.
Right.
As they running away, jam, it's over. You understand?
Right.
That gun going to jam. And all that strength they had is gone. Why? Because they put their faith in what? That gun. That's right. They put their faith in that weapon, or they put their faith in their martial arts, or they put their faith in their fighting style, or whatever that they learn. But when something happens and that whatever you learned goes away, now you have no faith in nothing. You don't got your faith and your martial artist style when you trapped in a room and 16 Russians are walking in. Now your martial arts don't count for nothing, but your faith in the Lord will count for everything. You understand? You know that you've been living a life that the Lord has ordered you to live. Then them 16 Russians come in the room and you stand there bold as a what? Think about the scriptures out. Judah bold as a what? A lion. You stand in the face of them Russians, bold as a lion. You understand? Because in One West, we are no cowards. Ain't no cowards in here. You understand? So you could be scared of World War III all you want. We stand in front of it, bold as a lion, waiting on our king to return, waiting on our captain return to give us orders so that we can go do what we need to do. You understand that? All right. Before we go to the next, do we got any questions in the room? I know I came in late. Abortion is a sin. So throw that out there. You cannot abort your baby. I say that now because it's a big ordeal right now in the U.S. Supreme Court. America is fighting against itself. You understand? Because they are now challenging Roe v. Wade, that court decision in 1973 that stated that a woman had a constitutional right to abort her baby, which, of course, now looking at it, the Constitution never said anything about a woman's right to abort her baby. And so now Dodd v. Jackson, which happened on December 1st, 2021, is now fighting to overrule that decision. But, of course, there's a lot of problems when it comes to overruling decisions that set the precedents and the U.S. Supreme Court, because if you start changing stuff, then they'll start to go back and say, well, what about this? What about that? To help them out, abortion is a sin. Simple enough. You understand? Which is the problem with the U.S. Supreme Court and America's law, is that America has to interpret its constitution. It is not something that is set in stone. It's not something that you can go to a book, chapter, and verse and see that a brother should be condemned for this, that, or the third. They have to go into certain precedents that are set before, and they have to judge based off of that. And that is the problem with America, because different people have different what? Interpretations, which is why the Bible says what? Precept. There's just a quick breakdown on abortion, just because abortion is a big topic right now in America, along with Ukraine and Russia.
Second Peter chapter 1 and verse 20.
Uh-huh.
Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation.
Meaning what? There is no priest that could come forward and say that the scripture should change. There's no priest that could come forth that could say, well, adultery doesn't mean, just a man sleeping with another man's wife. Adultery means a man sleeping with any other woman outside of. You can't say that because the scripture is already written.
That's right.
You understand? There is no private interpretation, which is why these scriptures stand.
That's right.
And this is the best thing for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians.
That's right.
And the U.S. The Constitution is going to be why America falls.
That's right.
Understand? What you got?
No, Salak, if I may, I was going to say it also shows, proves, fake Israelites and individualites. If it's not for no private interpretation, that means whatever you think is nonsense, which means that someone got to teach it to you, which means there has to be a
man above
rank, a man above you in rank, so okay, this is what this means.
Right.
And you just accept it and go on with your life.
Right.
Salak.
You understand? And that's just a quick breakdown on abortion. But again, anybody got any other questions? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, Salaki, sir. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 31. When the Lord is, when Jeremiah is talking about the house of the new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, is that basically just breaking down like the split between us, or is he also still just like,
go ahead and read it?
Okay, come. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
Now, what is Jeremiah saying here? Right, when he says that he will make a new covenant with the house of Judah and the house of Israel, what's going on?
Come, Salaki, sir. He's talking about the
I get a little bit. Go ahead.
It's like, sir, he's talking about the old covenant that was broken before when it's like that might be where I'm a little foggy. When was the old covenant broken? When exactly? Like, was there the time when it was broken, sir?
What was the time?
Yeah, like when was the time when it was broken? Like after they left Egypt, and after we left Egypt, and they started praying to the false gods and whatnot, sir.
Why is it separating Judah and Israel?
It's like I said, that was when the kingdom was divided, north kingdom and southern kingdom.
Right. When the kingdom split, you had Israel, which was your northern kingdoms, and then you had Judah, which was your Benjamites, Levites, and Judah. Well, Benjamites, some of Levi, and your Judites. You understand? Go ahead.
Kind of, sir. So I was gonna like my main question is like if I was like trying to break this down to just somebody on the street, like the covenants with all of Israel, like blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. But when I come to this right here, I just have to explain each time, like, okay, there was a time when blacks and Hispanics were divided the whole nation of Israel was divided, and Northern Kingdom was the Hispanics and Native Indians up here, and the blacks, West Indians and Levi were down here. Like, I'd have to like pretty much break it down like that, or could I just tell them, hey, there was a covenant that was broken beforehand, and then all of a sudden, now we have to make a new covenant. There have to be a new covenant made for all of Israel.
What is the new covenant?
The covenant is
what's the new covenant?
Come on, sir. The new covenant is Christ's death, sir. Christ's sacrifice, sir.
Is that the covenant?
Well,
what is a covenant first?
An agreement, sir.
It's a promise, right? An agreement.
Come on.
A contract, right?
Come on.
So what is the new covenant?
Agreement. Okay, that you would stop the sinning you were doing before the transgressions and it's like through Christ you'd stop your transgressions and it's like I'm trying to find a way to
think about it.
Through Christ, you get forgiveness for those past transgressions and an opportunity to be forgiven for all that and a chance at a new life.
Okay. Who was the covenant given to?
Israel, sir.
Who specifically first? Who got the first covenant?
What Judah, sir?
Think about like this. What is everyone on the earth fighting for? Not everyone on the earth. How can I put this without giving it to you? What is so important about being the true biblical Jews of the Bible?
You have the promise. You were given a promise by the Most High God for the glory, the rulership.
Not the promise, but we are who? Think about who we are to the Most High. We are God's chosen people. That is the promise. You understand that we would be God's chosen people. Who was that given to?
To Jacob, sir.
To Abraham.
Slide.
You understand? And through Abraham's seed, through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob would come out who?
The 12 tribes of Israel, sir.
Which are who?
The blacks, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native.
Which are who?
The Israelites, sir.
Which are who?
God's chosen people.
Which
sir.
Is the what?
Slacking.
It's the promise.
Wait, slack.
The promise is what? Okay, put it like this. All right. If I tell you through your seed will be God's chosen people,
right?
What's the promise?
That all my children, my line will be
God's chosen people. So the covenant is what?
The promise that these that God's chosen, that these will be God's chosen people.
And because we are God's chosen people, we would be who as a nation? What did Moses say? In the book of Deuteronomy, what did Moses say to the children of Israel? He was explaining something to the Israelites after they left Egypt that we did not do.
That we did not obey God's word.
And if we did not follow the law, statutes, and commandments, we would be what?
Slacky. We'd be the promise would be taken from us.
We would be cut off. You understand? We would have to go through curses, right? Which is what we decided to do. Moses said that if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, then thou shalt be put on high above all the nations upon the face of the earth. That is the promise, that blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians would be God's chosen people, and we would rule this place. We would rule this earth. But because we decided to break that, and we decided to worship a golden calf, and we decided to go and celebrate Christmas, and we split our kingdom, there had to be a new covenant. But what is the new covenant?
So I consider that if you come back to those law, statute, commandments, you will be brought back as, adopted as the chosen people.
The new covenant is the same as the first. You understand?
Those promises.
There is no difference from the first covenant and the second. You understand? Go to where I wanted you to go. Go back to Jeremiah chapter 31 and just read down to verse 34.
Okay.
Or read down to verse 33.
Okay. Book of Jeremiah chapter 31 verse 32. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord. Verse 33. But this shall be the covenant that I make with the house of Israel.
That I make with the who?
The house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts.
I will do what?
I'll put my law in their inward parts.
So what is he saying? What does it mean to put their law in their inward parts?
It's like I said, it'd be like second nature to them. Like it'd be something they do without thinking.
Right. He would teach them the instead of the law being what it was, right? Because the law before was almost like America's law, in which it was just words on a paper. You would go up to the Sadducee and the Pharisee, and they would read what the law is, and you would have to do it, right? But they didn't understand. They didn't understand the glory and following the law. You understand? Which is why when Moses came down from the mountain, Moses had a veil over him. He had a veil over his face after talking to the Most High, because whenever he lifted that veil, they didn't want to see it. They didn't want to see what the Lord had told Moses. They wanted it to be covered up. They wanted to cover what Moses was talking about. They didn't want to hear what them Hebrews is talking about on the street corner. They saying, hush all that talking, all that, this, that, and the third, following the law. They didn't want to see it. You understand? But what Christ came to do was to teach them that was to do what with Moses, with the veil. He lifted it back up. He showed them the glory and what Moses was telling them. Meaning what? Now it's not a burden to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Why? Because you're not sleeping with another man's wife only because you'll get killed or stoned to death. You're not sleeping with another man's wife because you love your brother. You're not killing your brother because you love your brother. And so now it's in your inward part, which is why Christ said what? That the whole law hinge on these two. That I love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and love thy brother as thyself. Because if you do those two things, then why would you sell drugs to your brother? Right. Why would you sell drugs to your sister? You understand? And so that was the covenant. The covenant didn't change. You understand? But Christ came to teach you understand? Christ came to teach the law, which is why he said what? I don't think that think not that I have come to do away with the law or the prophets. I have not come to destroy, but to fulfill. You understand? He came to teach you that by following what Christ and what the Most High gave us, what Moses taught us, that this in itself will make us a great nation, not by magic, but because you won't slaughter each other in the ghettos, because you won't You won't harm your brother and your neighborhood. You won't sleep with your brother's wife. You won't commit adultery. You won't sell drugs in the ghettos like these other nations do. And by following this, then that covenant would be kept because you will be the best nation on the planet Earth. And it's very much obtainable. It's not magic. Imagine if blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today decided, man, we will not celebrate Christmas. Right. I'm not selling drugs to my brother. I'm not gonna sleep with my man's woman. We would be the greatest people on the face of the earth. You understand? Other nations will be astonished of how we live amongst each other and don't kill each other. They will be astonished. Do you know how they look at us at the Passover and they see us come together and they automatically assume, oh man, it's a group of niggas getting together. Something gonna happen. Something about, I mean, look at the Super Bowl. You can't even go to the Super Bowl with Kodak without Kodak Black getting shot. You can't even go to a club with maybe what, 80 to 100 people? Right. We're going to be at the Passover on April 15th in Cocoa Beach, and you are going to witness the new kingdom right there in front of you. It's not magic. It's not a floating place that comes down. It's something that we build, and this is what Christ was teaching us, man, that you loving your brother, man, is following the law, and he put that in our inward parts, which is what we do today, man. You understand? And that is the new covenant. There is nothing different. There is no new covenant. I only say that because Christians will say a new covenant to make it seem as if something has changed, as if that means that, you know, something is different now. Edomites can now be grafted in and stuff like that, or whatever nonsense that is. The covenant has not changed. The covenant is that through the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob shall thy name be called, man. Shall that be Yasha Allah, man, princes of the power, the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, which is God's chosen people, done. You understand? Ain't nothing changed. The only thing that's changed is that Christ had to die for us so that we can have the opportunity to do what we do here in the Isupk. But keep going.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And write it in their hearts.
And write it in their hearts. Write it in their mind. Meaning what? You wouldn't have to go to no book. I don't got to go to a book to see if there's a law against me sleeping with my brother's wife. Why? Because I love him. I love my brother. I know how I would feel if someone slept with my wife. So I don't have to go to a Sadducee. I don't have to go to a Pharisee and ask him for forgiveness and give a lamb without blemish, or go find out what law it is concerning with this, that, and the third. We don't have to do that. You understand? Keep going.
Okay. And will be their God. And they shall be my people.
And they shall do what?
Be my people.
They shall be what?
Be my people.
They shall be my people. It ain't no other people. You understand? Be my people is possessive. These people belong to me. You understand? Keep going. And of course, and again, another way you would cut Christians is by if the Lord has a people, then that means that there's also what?
Other people he
doesn't have. Okay. You understand? If every person was the Lord's people, then there wouldn't be there. What are we talking about? Right. This would be if everybody could be God's chosen people, then this book is pointless. It's a waste of time of a read. You understand? The only thing that makes this book what it is because the Lord has a chosen people, man. You understand? And that is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Keep going.
Mm-hmm. Verse 34. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more.
Which means what?
That every man and woman, child in the kingdom will know the Lord and his laws, and anything they done in the past that they continue not to do will be forgiven.
Meaning what? We alive right now because we've been forgiven. We're living under what Paul called a grace period. You understand? A time to get right. You understand? Christ had to die for that to happen. Christ had to die for this to happen, and so now this is where we at. Simple, right? Anything else? Does that answer your question?
Comic-Con, sir. Yeah. Yeah, I just want to explain, why basically, but that answers the question, but I was just like, Comic-Con, sir. You got it.
You sure?
Yeah, Comic-Con, sir.
If you ain't got it, come on with it.
No, Comic-Con, sir. You answered the first part, but then went deeper into it. I got it.
All right, no sweat. All right, give me Psalms 55 and verse 20.
Okay. Comic-Con, it's the book of Psalms, Psalm 55, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
He hath put forth his hands against such
Mm-hmm.
as be at peace with him.
Who is this talking about? He has put forth his hands against such that is be at peace with him.
So like I said, this is about King David, right, sir?
Keep going.
Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
He has broken his covenant.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 21.
He has done what?
He has broken his covenant.
He has broken his covenant. Who has broken his covenant?
Oh, it's like Israel, sir. Broken his covenant. Israelites, sir.
Read it from the top.
Okay. The book of Psalms, Psalm 55, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
He has put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
Who has put forth his hands against the people that was at peace with him?
It's like it, sir. Esau, sir.
Our oppressor.
Okay.
You understand? Our oppressor came to the Native American Indians, and what did I just say Christopher Columbus quoted? That this nation of people is the nicest people on the face of the planet Earth, that they give their possessions preferably to others rather than keep it to themselves. And after saying how nice and how peaceful this people was, he said that they are going to make great servants because we can gather them and get them to do anything we want. That's what Christopher Columbus said. You understand? I'll read it again.
The book of Psalms, Psalm 55, verse 20.
Uh-huh.
He has put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
Uh-huh.
He has broken his covenant.
He has broken his covenant. A covenant is a what?
An agreement, sir.
Or contract or promise.
Okay.
What did our oppressor do with the Native American Indians that he broke?
Oh, Slacker broke all those treaties, sir.
He broke every single treaty that he had. So I got one.
Not only did he do that with the Gadites, but even when the so-called when the Hamites were so-called volunteering the children of Israel to do servitude work, it was called indentured servitude, where you will work for 7 years and then you can come home. And that we never, as you see by us being here, we never came home.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You understand? That's, of course, is also true. You understand? They promised us to work for 7 years and to bring us back. However, they never brought us back. They also promised us what? What is it? 40 acres and a mule?
Right.
And we've never gotten that as well. Right. So now this is a people that is at peace with the so-called white man.
Okay.
We're not at war with him every day. You understand? We don't go into the streets and pick up guns and just start killing oppressors because of the color of their skin. But yet our oppressor does this to us. Our oppressor decides to murder us in the streets because of the color of our skin. Keep reading.
Right. Verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. This is why blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians have to gird up their loins.
Right.
You have to be prepared to fight against something that doesn't seem demonizing. That's what you have to understand. You have to fight against something that doesn't seem mean, right? It's the oppressor is like the candy man. You understand? You ever seen the candy man? That's what your oppressor is. He gives you something that seems nice.
Right.
He said, "Oh, it's just a little Kit Kat bar, just a little Snickers. Just come over here and get it." You understand? And then when you go into that alley, he puts you inside of his trunk and kidnaps you and puts you in a basement somewhere 1,000 miles away from home.
Good.
You understand? But this is what our people have to understand. Your oppressor knows that he cannot just come out and blatantly say, you are a nigger,
Right.
and we hate you, and we're going to kill you. Why? Because, well, good night. We've been beaten down so much, we still may try to love them.
Good night.
We gonna be in church that Sunday praying that they change their mind until they come and Dylan Storm root us all. You understand? No sweat. But our oppressor knows that he cannot fight in that way because he is not stronger than us. You understand?
That's right.
And so he has to have smooth words. He has to go into politics and push laws in ways that sounds like he's trying to help black people, or that sounds like he's trying to push reform or to change certain things about laws that is constantly oppressing us, when really he has no incentive to ever change anything that is in favor of saving lives of blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Right. Because if he is saving lives of black people, if he is giving resources to black people, then what is he in return not doing?
It's like I said, we're getting resources for himself.
Then he is not sending more of his children to private school.
Right.
He is not putting more better food and healthier food on the plates of children of his people. You understand? Which is stupidity for us to believe that he would ever do. It's a dumb concept.
Right.
You don't go into any place on the face of the planet Earth and find a family that is poor or doesn't have much in the ghetto who decides to take whatever they have and just randomly give it to somebody else simply because they live next door. That is a rare act. It is a rarity to find someone who even has money to give a crumb to somebody else. I seen the baby not too long ago denied these two black kids who were selling candy, right? Who told him, who said, I give you the whole box of candy, man, for $100 each. They of course see the baby. They see chains that he has on that are worth close to $1 million. Piece of jewelry that is worth close to $1 million. The cars that he drives that is over $1 million worth. The clothes that he has on, that's tens of thousands of dollars in value. And he says, well, dang, man, you know, we going to sell you this box of candy for just $100. Just give us $100, man. We poor. And of course, you know what the baby said. He said, because you tried to play me, I ain't going to give you nothing now. And he ain't give him nothing. But there's some old stinking crackhead, homeless white man who is a piece of shit.
Right.
You know what? He is a piece of, you talking about a man who has a government. You talking about a man who has interest groups and buildings that he can walk into and get a job. All he has to do is clean his face. A lot of people say, why don't homeless people just go and clean their face and take a shower, walk into McDonald's and get a job? Because they're black. Because of the color of their skin. Have we forgotten that since civil rights, our parents have been teaching us that you have to work 10 times harder than a white man? Did you forget that? Well, then how dare you tell a black man that all he has to do is shave his face, take a shower, and he can go get a job? No, he can't. But that white man can. He can clean his face and take a shower and go get a job. And so the baby sees this man, and he walks up to the baby, and he has some old stinking radio. Some old nasty radio. And the baby purchases that radio from him for $100. For $100. But he left those brothers hungry. He left those brothers hungry, man. Those and not to make things worse. Well, actually, to make things worse, he gave a grown man, someone probably in his 50s and 60s, $100 before he gave these kids, who was probably 12 or 13 years old, some money, man. Not knowing the condition, not having no compassion on people who grew up just like him. Disgusting, man. You understand? Just an idiot, man. And that's what we living with, man. But we have to understand. What we got to understand is that you cannot take your resources. America can't take their resources and give it to black people without hurting without directly hurting their children. Right. Just like Ukraine. Ukraine does not have time to fight for Black Lives Matter because their people are dying. You understand? Read it again. Read it again.
God. The book of Psalms, Psalm 55, verse 21.
The
words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
But war was in his heart, man. This is what our oppressor is doing to us.
Right.
They teaching us that they're trying to push reform and trying to hold. Even at my school, they have little tables and stuff set up in which they invite Black people to come and write on poster, and it's so Salakia. It's so embarrassing. I, of course, don't participate in it because I'm a real nigga raised up in the Isupk under Commander General Yohana.
Right.
You understand? And of course, he raises up real niggas who don't participate in silliness. But it's so embarrassing to see a school who gets their money off the blood, sweat, and tears, literally, of Black football players who push for them to get rich. Black basketball players who push for them to get rich by winning state championships and titles and on their levels, and push for them to have money and pay $43,000 to go to this school, and they have the nerve to put up a damn table with poster cards saying, "What should Barton include to make you feel more comfortable here?"
Right.
We've been living together for 400 years, and you got to ask such a heinous question.
Right.
You got to ask such a stupid question, as if you don't know everything about us, as if you haven't fed everything to us on BET, as if you haven't given us our culture here in America.
Right.
You put drugs in our community, guns into our children's hands, and force them to kill each other. But you gonna ask the children of the slaves that you created what they like? You gave us what we like.
Right.
You understand? We are so idiotic, man, but we believe that because there's a table that offers us to give an opinion, that white people must be changing. They must really care about us. And you know what's so sad? That table was pushed out last year. Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed. You understand? Because why? Read it again.
Okay. Book of Psalms, Psalm 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
We got a table. Come put out what Black people should have at Barton College. Keep going.
But war was in his heart.
But all them finances go to their children.
Right.
Them resources go to their children. You understand? You think, look at the students who get to go to the president's house and have dinner with him and his wife. They don't look like me. You understand? There's brothers on these college campuses, and I'm only speaking for my school, but I'm sure at many different universities, who are scared to wear grills in their mouth, who are scared to wear jewelry and chains and certain clothing because of perception that a school doesn't want to push. But yet they make the money off of the backs of those same people, man.
Right.
You understand? If white people gave a damn about Black people, then Black people wouldn't be afraid to be Black. Black people wouldn't be afraid to pull up on campus with their music blasting, bumping Chief Keef at 8:30 in the morning, getting ready to go to class. They wouldn't be there. Let me turn this down. I don't want my professor to see me. You understand? But they know that if they get caught being Black, that they will be persecuted for it, man. Because we all know that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man.
That's right.
And he is a liar. He is a liar. You understand? And it doesn't make sense for him to be anything else. It doesn't make sense for him to love Black people. Why would you? Why would you? If I hit the lottery for $500 million today, what the hell am I about to do? I'm going to send $250 million to Ukraine? For what? I got children.
Right.
I got my own kids. My children living in the poor, trying to find out their next meal. I got friends with children who can't go into private school. What the hell am I going to send my money to Ukraine for?
Right.
If I send a dime to Ukraine, that is a dime that I can't feed my children with. So why do you think that America is supposed to feed you? Right. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 22, Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee.
Cast your burden upon the Lord, man. You understand? Again, what did the Lord say? He is you understand? He is the one who will fight for us. He's the power that'll fight for us, man. And because of that, we should do what he says to do, man.
Yeah.
Cast your burden upon him. And to cast your burden upon the Lord means to do what? That you put your trust in what the Lord told you to do. You want to live, then you don't sleep with your brother's wife. You want to live, then you don't celebrate Christmas and partake in drug abuse. If you want to live, then you follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, man, and you love your brothers. You understand? To put your trust in your brothers is to put your trust in the Lord, man. Not into a goddamn AK-47 or the U.S. military or politics. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 23.
Uh-huh.
But thou, O power, shalt bring them down into the pit of destruction.
You missed one on 22.
Slack sir.
Mm-hmm.
Book of Psalms, Psalm 55, verse 22.
Uh-huh.
Cast thy burden upon the Lord,
Uh-huh.
and he shall sustain thee.
Uh-huh.
He shall never suffer the righteous to be
He
moved.
shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 23.
Mhm.
But thou, O power,
Uh-huh.
shalt bring them down into the pit of destruction.
Shall bring them down into the pit of destruction. What is that pit of destruction? What is this referring to?
Slack sir. The coming to Christ, sir. Basically when the angels come and rip the sky.
Battle of Jehoshaphat. That pit of destruction is where this World War III is going to be magnified. And once Saudi Arabia gets involved, and all of these records of all of our history starts to be brought out. Once Saudi Arabia gets involved, and all of the records that they hold of the ancient Israelites start to get brought out, and once America starts to get involved in the Middle East, then that is the Lord bringing them into the pit of destruction, and they will die. They're not going to make it out. Go ahead.
So we're waiting on Saudi Arabia, like the conflict with Russia and Ukraine moving on, and once Saudis get involved and America to the Saudis, that's like
once Saudi Arabia gets involved, you are going to start to see all of the relics and the ancient artifacts and all of the history from ancient Jerusalem, from Israel, start to be brought up, because Saudi Arabia is in control of it right now, and they have been hiding it. And once they get into it, and America starts to move its forces into that Middle East, which is the Battle of Jehoshaphat, then you are now seeing the beginning of the end. You understand? That is in the Bible. It's prophesied in these records. You understand? Keep going.
Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days.
Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, man. This is the fate of our oppressor, man.
Right.
His hands, he has built cities with blood, man. On the bone. We living right now on the bones of Native American Indians. Right. We living on them bones. You understand? You can't murder, you can't be such a murderer, man, and such a treacherous person and not have to pay for what you've done. You understand? I think, if I'm not mistaken, somebody can correct me, I think Andrew Jackson, he quoted, if I'm not mistaken, and he said, that was the Trail of Tears, it's either him or it was a president, but it was some prominent white man back in those times who said that surely if there is a God, then we will pay for what we've done, because of all the murdering that they were doing, all of the innocent children that they killed, all of the people they put in cages and put in prisons. They will have to pay for what they've done, and they know it.
That's right.
They know what it is. You understand? You wonder why they stacking up resources to go up into them to the air, to not the air, but the space fleets and the space forces, man. They are preparing to fight against a power, man, that is not here on earth. You understand? And boy, I tell you, I can't wait for that day.
Right.
Y'all know my favorite chapter in the book is Joel chapter 2. That's me all day. But that day is coming, man. But blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians have to realize that our oppressor is going to get you to join him.
Right.
You understand? The scriptures say that in that day, thy man shall turn into his stead. You understand? Meaning you're going to go into your house. You're going to go into what you're standing with, right? You either going to go into this house, or you're going to go into the Christian house, or you're going to go into the Muslim house, the Islamic house, or you're going to go into the house of Pan-Africanism, or you're going to go into the military. But every man is going to choose who he's going to stand with, man. You understand? And I hope that blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians choose to stand with the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana, man, so that they could live. You understand? And not die in thermonuclear warfare. And that's just what it is. So, like, what we got? 858, no sweat. Give me George chapter 2. No, I ain't. Give me let me see. Give me Amos chapter 5 and verse 18.
Okay. Okay. It's the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. What does that mean?
It's like it's a all these people who are waiting for the Most High to return or to show his presence on the earth. Well, that's going to be a time of destruction for them.
Who is waiting for the Most High to return, for Christ to return?
It's like they're Christians, sir, and like Jehovah's Witnesses. Basically Christians, sir.
Everybody. Everyone's waiting. The Chinese man right now is in China is waiting on Christ to return. He's waiting. Africans are waiting for Christ to return. Muslims are waiting for Christ to return. They may call them different names or whatever, but they're waiting to see this power that they all know is coming back. Our oppressor is waiting for Christ's return, which is why he is building the Space Force to fight against him when he does return, right?
Okay.
So read it again.
Okay. It's the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
So now, the scriptures say, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. Meaning what? You a Christian. You are a Christian. You go to church every Sunday, and you beg and plead for Jehovah's return. Right. Or you beg and plead for Christ to come back so that they can set peace and order on earth. And here's the problem. You have no idea what it is you're asking for.
Right.
You don't know anything about the scriptures. You don't know anything about what's written in these records. And so you don't even know that. No sweat. We're gonna read it, right? Just keep going. I'm gonna let the books talk.
To what end is it for you?
To what end is it for you? Christ returning, you believe that it's a good thing, but what is it to you? You understand? Is Christ returning a good thing for you when you've been a child molester your whole life?
Right.
Or is Christ returning a good thing when you've been worshiping a rock?
Right.
Like in Muslim, you've been worshiping a cobblestone. You understand? A pebble. What is it? What is it end to? What is the end to you? What is the outcome of Christ coming back for you? Keep going.
The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Meaning what? What is significant about that? That part alone.
Oh, it's like, sir, it's not going to be a joyous day.
Right. Meaning you in the Christian church talking about some Christ coming back, singing and dancing. Nigga, don't you know that you people are going to die? Well, if you are so joyful, you so jovial of Christ coming back, and you should just clap at Ukraine. You should just be happy.
That's right.
Why are you so sad about what's happening? Christ is coming back. Did not say great destruction was coming on the earth. What did the Bible just say? Read that last part one more time.
The day of the Lord is darkness.
The day of the Lord is darkness. Well, I'll tell you, it's dark in Ukraine right now. You should be happy.
That's right.
Ukraine finally got the darkness. They're going through it now. You should clap. You should be happy. Keep going.
Verse 19. As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him.
This is the day of the Lord. Hold on. Read that last part of verse 18. You skipped the part.
The book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 18. The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. It's not a light day when the Lord comes back. It's not going to be a happy day with people singing and dancing it is going to be terrible atrocities and turmoil that's happening on the face of the planet Earth. Keep going.
Verse 19. As if a man did flee from a lion.
As if a man flees from a lion. You run away from a lion. Keep going.
And a bear met him.
And you get met by a bear. Keep going.
Or went into a house and leaned his hand on the wall.
Oh, you running away from Russian intruders. You try and get away. And you finally make it into the house and you put your hand on the wall because you tired. You try to catch your breath. Keep going.
And a serpent bit him.
You get bit by a snake. Like, what the hell is a snake doing in your house?
Right.
You understand how unfortunate that is? How, like, that's an unfortunate sequence of events that you're running away from a goddamn lion and you turn the corner and you get mauled by a goddamn bear. Somehow you get away from the bear and you make it into the house and you put your hand on the wall because you just fought a damn lion and a bear in one day, and then you're getting bit up by a goddamn python, man.
Right.
That is what you're asking for. It's an unfortunate day.
Damn right.
There's a lot of things you're going to see. You see them videos of Ukrainians being bombed and flying around and stuff. Right. That's unfortunate too. This ain't no different. Keep going.
Verse 20. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light?
Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light? That sounds like a question I would ask a Christian with a face, with a certain face. Like, did it not say this here?
Right.
You understand that the day of the Lord will be darkness and not light? Keep going.
Even very dark.
Even very dark. Meaning what? The scriptures describe the day of the Lord as if like the densest dark cloud you've ever seen coming over the mountains, and it'll blot out the sun. Meaning it'll be morning time. It'll be daytime, and you won't see the sun. It'll still be dark. How many of you ever seen The Matrix? The last one. Not the last one, but the third one. You understand? Y'all remember the city of light where Neo made it when he was blind and they had to go up and they finally seen the daylight? That's the day of the Lord. Right? That's what it'll look like. Except you ain't gonna have no neck. What they call it? What's the name of this ship, man? The Nebuchadnezzar. You ain't gonna have no Nebuchadnezzar to fly you up over the mountains and over the clouds. You're gonna be stuck down there where all the destruction, looking at your watch as it says 2 p.m., but it looks like it's Ukraine. That's what it's gonna look like. You understand? Keep going.
Even very dark.
Even very dark. Keep going.
And no brightness in it. Verse 21.
You can stop there. You understand? Now, this is what the day of the Lord is bringing, man. But this is what you got to ask yourself. What are you doing to survive this? You understand? What are you doing to survive this attack? Because this is an attack. This is warfare that is going to happen on the face of the planet Earth when Christ returns, and it's going to be an attack. The same way you see Ukraine under attack, you're going to see people having to fight for their lives. What are you doing to survive that war that is coming to this place?
Right.
A lot of people will say what? Well, you know me, I'm up in the woods training every day. I'm up in there training how to load a weapon, how to load an AK-47. I'm putting my food provisions underneath the ground. I got a tree at longitude 236, latitude 568, and I put a P all over the tree. And I know that 6 feet in front of that tree with the P marked into the branches, that is where I dig a hole that's 3 feet under the ground with a trunk that got food provisions and everything like that inside of it. So when that day come, I know where to go. Oh, I've been training my martial art tactics, so when the Russians start invading, we're going to be able to fight. I hear you, brother.
Right.
I hear you. However, what the Lord say that you should be doing? What the Lord said that you should be doing to survive this day?
Oh, it's like, sir, following these laws, statutes, and commandments.
That you should be putting your trust in him.
That's right.
And not in an AK-47. That's right. Not in a law that America pushes. Not in a politician, you understand? And also to not put your trust in being such a coward that you bend over backwards for every nation that hates you and hope that maybe they'll bring you with you.
Good night.
That maybe they'll just think that you're so much of a can I say homosexual?
Slack, I think it's gay.
I can't say that.
Yeah.
I can say gay.
Yeah, come.
Be so much of a gay man that they will just not be frightened by you, and they will say, well, this man here is gay. He can come on the ship with us. He can get into the bunker with us because he's gay. He doesn't look like Officer Taza, who of course is a hardcore killer. They ain't I'll tell you right now, they ain't letting Taza down there in that bunker. Right. Taza better not even General Hyman is not getting in any bunker with any Edomite. Before they get to the door, guns will be drawn.
Right.
They don't care how many provisions they have, guns will be drawn because he will scare the living S out of everyone he is around. And that, of course, is better than getting into a bunker and being molested because they believe you're a gay man. That is not how you'll be saved. You'll be saved by joining the Isupk and learning to live by following these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. And joining yourself with men of the Lord, man. And with that, I'm going to pass class over to Priest and Officer Thaba One.
ISUPK security announcements. Salakia. Let me turn this shit down. ISUPK security announcements. We're the ISUPK. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21, but Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10 means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give, upcoming holy convocation, of course, will be the 53rd annual Lord's Passover, going down in Cocoa Beach, Florida, April 15th. You got not much time left, so I'm saying make sure you get all your affairs in order and everything. They got a whole itinerary, different events going on. They got an event for the kids. Got the fishing joint. I think that's locked up though. I don't think there's any more slots for the fishing joint with the generals. But of course, we got a fish fry. I don't know if that's wise, but you know what I mean? No sweat. Okay, so that's the next upcoming holy convocation. I want to remind Akim and Akwathi to check on social media, such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he needs to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, Amadiyum, which means to stand. It's like, sister, you can remain your job. Okay.